Jai Sitaram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Gurudev, Jai Ram, Ram, Ram.
Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Krishna Krishna Govinda
Oh, Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And not to forget a big welcome to all of you who are still joining us via broadcasting from around the world. And it's a very wonderful feeling that beings around the world can join in, so that we are one Sangha, one sharing in real time with us here in Rishikesh. So big welcome for you to join in this way. So, last time I spoke that the 2 days where satsang was not taking place officially inside the hall were also to be regarded as satsang days, because it was a time to really absorb and to marinate, assimilate what has really been taking place, and to see that it can be confirmed over and over again, that which has been pointed to and has been recognized itself does not go away, it does not leave, it didn't come in the first place, but somehow seemingly hidden or eclipsed by a habit or a fascination that sprang from the beingness for the life of a person, you see. And so if spirituality has a power, it is really to remove this cataract of mistaken identity. So again, clear seeing prevail, you see. And so these days were a time offered for that. So let's see how you managed. Okay. And you can come.
Hello, Mooji. Namaste.
Namaste.
From the very first moment I said yes to come to Rishikesh, I've had everything thrown at me. So many obstacles, so much negativity around me. But something was very quiet inside. Something new. I had to be here. So I faced it all. Sorry. Then there were moments that the ego came in, of course, and said, "You shouldn't have come. You know, you've risked so much." But something still new, something very quiet was inside. You have shown me my true position over and over this year. I don't know what to face when I get home. I don't know anything, but I'm not afraid.
You already said something beautiful. Don't know anything. Don't know anything. It's a strange thing, advice that seemed to come like that, to say don't know anything, which it means is don't entertain any idea that you should know before it's time what is going to happen, how things should be. The wise, they stay in this beautiful land of I don't know. They're not hurried to know. They're already established in the being. It is sufficient and suffices for them to be just in this vibration of being. They move in full trust. And this not knowing is a wonderful space. And then your eyes are really open to see life as it is unfolding in its natural light, not a light distorted by fear or anticipation or by any old energies that is contributing to a distorted picture of what is present, you see. So when I hear I have to highlight this one. I don't know. I don't know is not a bad thing. Then you allow yourself the space to recognize what life is offering.
I've been seeing that life has been supporting me. Every step I've been taking, it's never been me. Something has been taking care of me the whole time.
Even the mosquitoes, he takes care of the mosquitoes, of the ants and the worms and the snakes and everything, take care of it. And human beings full care of it. But we don't see it because sometimes from our person, from this personhood position which we adopt and are attached to, we are often acting prematurely or from fear. And that's a blinding quality because what life is actually unfolding in its cosmic speed, in its cosmic rhythm, we are missing because our focus is not on that, it's on something else. You see? And if I give the example, like if I were to ask you, please go into my room and just bring those blue slippers by the bed or something for me, because my leg is hurt, I need. And you go in there, and then you came out, and then I ask you, what color were the curtains? You would not have noticed, unless you're nosy. You're one of those people. But generally, you go in for something, you don't notice so many other things, even the color of the wall, whether my bed was made or anything like this. You go in just quickly to get my slippers, you come out. And I use this as an example because if your intention is to see something, then just because you want to see this one thing, 1% thing, 99% you don't notice. If you are so fixated on something. And we are often fixated on a version of life that we believe, that's the right life for me. And you put a lot of energy for this. And so much is missed. And the one who is really stable and established in the heart, they are not picking and choosing so strongly. It's much more light. So you don't miss. And you come to see that life takes care of life. Life takes care of life. Some power is taking care of all these beings, including yourself. And so much so that even if it was really up to you to choose exactly the life you think is the best life for you, it will still fall short of the one that Cosmos presents for you. But nobody tries it out, is it?
I haven't even been able to order my lunch. I don't know what I want. I need my friends to order for me. I just don't know nothing. It's been so funny that I can't even order what I want for lunch. I can't think of anything. It's just such an emptiness.
Can be like this also. You don't. There's not really much energy going much towards satisfying the senses, and for a while it can play like this also. Why not?
But I feel him so much inside me.
Yes.
So much. Thank you so much. I love you with every fiber of my being. And I know there's no separation. There is no you, there's no me. I am so grateful.
If the one who does not know you and me, that one who does not know the difference between the sense of you and me, what is the experience of this one? The one who doesn't know strongly the sense of you and me, where you end and I begin, or I end and you begin, they don't know. They used to think they know, and now they probably don't know. Then what do they know?
Nothing. It's just this.
We don't want to give satsang a bad name. That people think you come and basically we just empty your head, basically, and then you walk around sort of bumping into trees, and that's what satsang did for me or something, because it is infinitely greater. Of course, in one hand you know nothing at all, the next way something is flowing with such a beautiful harmony and joy and peace like you never experienced before. So much love and openness.
Can I sing for you?
Okay.
I hope I can do it. Long before these bodies were born, we have known each other. Long after these bodies have gone, we will know each other as one, as one. I am your own heart, and I am always in your heart. I am your own heart. I am your own heart, and I am always in your heart. I am your own heart. As one, as one. I love you, Mooji.
Love you too.
So much.
Yes.
Need Russian translation?
Okay.
Мастер, я прошу помощи.
Master, I would like to ask for your help.
Я прошу помочь мне
Please help me.
все-таки помочь мне увидеть себя уже.
To see myself.
Я больше не имею сил искать.
There is no power in me left to seek.
И в этом на протяжении
If this is what she
в
wants,
этой жизни я потеряла уже, мой ум потерял остроту, и я уже чувствую, что я не могу уже сама найти.
She says, in this life, my mind has lost its sharpness, and by myself I cannot find.
Okay. Life may be helping you
Жизнь, возможно, помогает вам,
to stop trying so much.
чтобы вы не пытались, не прикладывали так много усилий к поиску.
Okay, so what about you just leave life alone for a moment? Just leave it alone for a moment.
Давайте оставим жизнь на минутку в покое.
Everything.
Все оставим.
It should be a very attractive offer for you.
На самом деле это очень привлекательное предложение для вас.
Yes, because you already say you can't. It's too much. You have no energy to seek anymore, isn't it?
Потому что вы сами уже говорите, что у вас уже не осталась энергия, не осталось сил, чтобы вести поиск дальше. Так ведь?
Да.
Yes.
So therefore, then leave everything now. Don't even your hopes for how things can be. Just leave everything. Put everything down. Put everything down.
Давайте сейчас все оставим, всю свою надежду, все свои намерения, все свои
Right
представления о том, как должно все быть. Прямо сейчас оставим это все в стороне.
Yes, everything.
Все.
All the memories and
Все воспоминания,
all the practices that you have done,
все практики, которыми вы занимались,
and the memory of them.
и все воспоминания об этих
Yes,
практиках.
yes. All your self-diagnosis, you
И
leave everything.
также оставим диагноз, который мы сами себе поставили. Давайте и его оставим в стороне.
Yes. I would like to invite as many people because it is such a simple and beautiful exercise.
И я хотел бы пригласить всех принять участие в этом упражнении, потому что оно прекрасное, замечательное упражнение.
Just like when you go into a sauna, you take all your clothes away.
Вот как если бы мы вошли в сауну, в баню, мы снимаем с себя все одежды.
So when you are coming to God's sauna, you take everything away also from inside. No?
И также, когда мы вступаем в сауну Господа Бога, мы все снимаем с себя, также то, что есть внутри.
So don't refer to anything now.
Поэтому сейчас пусть у вас не будет никаких отправных точек, не ссылайтесь ни на что.
Because whatever you will refer to is past.
Потому что все, на что вы можете ссылаться, осталось в прошлом.
Mostly what human beings speak about, 95-96% is past.
В основном то, о чем говорят люди, на 95 и больше процентов это все прошлое.
And a little bit about future, also you leave this also.
И также немного говорят о будущем. Но давайте оставим и это.
Because rarely do we speak from present.
Потому что очень редко мы говорим из настоящего момента.
But even if there's something present, also leave this also.
Но если есть что-то и в настоящем моменте, давайте оставим и это.
So from the three regions of time,
Вот из 3 сфер времени
leave everything.
оставим все
Right now you can do. Right now you can do.
прямо сейчас.
I only want to see with you what remains.
Давайте, я только хочу посмотреть вместе с вами, что осталось в результате.
Yes. Not something from past, not something from memory.
Не что-то из прошлого, не какие-то воспоминания из памяти.
What remained then? What remained?
Что остается?
If we really do, and no, don't imagine what it should look like or something. Just
Не нужно воображать себе ничего, как это должно выглядеть.
let us be authentic here. Let us be truthful.
Давайте будем верны сами себе здесь, будем истинны в этом.
So down zero.
Опускаемся на нулевую точку.
And we don't pick up anything new now.
И не подбираем, не хватаемся ни за что новое, что может возникнуть.
Just stay empty.
Просто остаемся пустыми.
Okay?
Хорошо?
Don't invite the mind in, not
Не
yet.
призывайте, не приглашайте свой ум в это.
Yes. Okay? So no effort.
Не делайте никаких усилий.
No imagination, no effort.
Никакого воображения,
Мне
никаких
воображение
усилий.
мешает.
My imagination disturbs me.
Imagination, we said we left him out also.
Мы также оставили и воображение. Мы отбросили воображение в сторону.
You're not to speak about that. That doesn't exist. It's all imagination. Imagination is imagination.
Не нужно говорить об этом. Воображение — это всего лишь воображение.
If you imagine a bucket full of water, and we make underneath, we make a hole, and everything come out, all come out.
Можно представить себе ведро с водой, наполненное, а снизу мы сделали отверстие, вся вода ушла.
So this is all the bucket of concepts now.
Это ведро концепций,
Ideas, memories,
идей, представлений, воспоминаний,
identity also.
отождествления, идентичности своей.
What remain here?
Что остается здесь? Nothing.
Как пустая труба.
It's like an empty pipe.
Even pipe is not there.
И даже трубы там никакой нет.
Something remain. Something is here, no?
Что-то остается, что-то присутствует здесь.
Because even a response is coming empty.
И даже вот этот ответ, когда мы говорим «пусто»,
So something perceives empty.
что-то воспринимает эту пустоту.
Can that be taken out also? Can it
Можно
be
ли
taken out?
это также
Is it possible?
отбросить в сторону? Возможно ли это?
That which perceives even emptiness,
То-
that is remaining.
То, что воспринимает даже саму пустоту, это остается.
Is there any effort there?
Есть ли в этом какие-то усилия?
Нет.
No.
No. So that stay. Nobody can take it out. So
Никто не может убрать это.
And you, where are you?
А вы? Где вы?
Can you
Я
take?
еще смотрю за как бы световой столб. Я за ним смотрю. Свет.
I'm still watching. There is like a pillar of light, and I'm observing it.
You who are watching, can you be seen?
Вы, наблюдающие, вас можно увидеть.
Everything that could be seen was taken out.
Все, что мы можем увидеть, мы убрали, отложили в сторону.
Меня не увидишь. Меня не воз...
I cannot see myself.
Why?
Почему?
Потому что все одно.
Because it's one. All of it is one.
Yeah. Zero is nothing, one is something.
Ноль — это ничто, а одно, один — это уже что-то.
What does it mean, one?
Что значит одно?
Как бы размыто безразличие, безразличение.
There is no difference here.
There's no difference. Very good. Yeah. Did you create this?
Вы это вообразили себе, создали,
Нет.
придумали? No.
No. Do you have to look after it?
Вам нужно как-то следить за этим, ухаживать за этим.
Нет, оно само
No, it's
действует.
by itself.
Есть просто.
It is.
Yes. So yourself and it is are inseparable, isn't it?
Ваше «я» и «это» неразделимы, не так ли?
Сейчас да.
Now, yes.
Yes. Is this a construction or a recognition? Is it something you're making up or something you're recognizing?
Это то, что мы придумали себе, что-то выстроили, или вы просто признаете?
Нет, я признаю.
It's a recognition.
Yes. When will it be finished, this recognition?
Это признание, это осознание. Когда оно закончится?
Никогда.
Never.
Can it go away?
Может ли это куда-то уйти?
Нет.
No.
Where was it all this time then?
А где оно было все это время?
Здесь.
Here.
Yeah.
Спасибо.
Спасибо. Спасибо. Very good. Who caught the same boat here? Okay, very good. Very good. And why would anybody not take a free ride on the same boat? You wouldn't have to purchase a separate ticket, just jump on the same boat. Why would you not take a ride on its boat? Maybe somebody with a hand up will tell me why. Somebody can come. You can come also.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I was falling asleep,
Falling asleep.
in and out.
In and
So,
out, yeah.
to answer your question, I could perceive it, and then gently fall asleep and then wake back up.
What a time to sleep.
Yes.
What a time to sleep, you know? But we sort of know what happens in these moments because it is just as I spoke earlier, that there is a force that is also latent within ourselves, present within ourselves, that doesn't want to participate in this, doesn't want to go so far, doesn't mind learning a little bit about it or talking about it at the chai shop. But when it comes time to really go through the door, it's kind of, or it wants to do something else, or go to sleep. You just woke up actually a couple of hours ago, but you're going to sleep. It is actually so clear that it's not a true sleep. It's not a true sleep. You see, you had enough sleep in the night. You come to satsang. You came all the way from United States or from so Africa or from someplace, and you came, and this for the same thing. You said, my heart is just burning for this truth, and here it is. What did you learn? When I woke up, it was all finished. Oh my God. This is the thing I say to watch for. At least you become aware. You feel it. We all feel it. There's something seems earlier, someone spoke also about the difficulties that arose the moment she decided, I'm coming to Rishikesh. That things, all kind of things feel like they're thrown at you and all these things. Where it come from? Who would do such a thing? If you say you want to go, horseback riding or bungee jumping, maybe some people might deter you from that, but generally, fun. But you want to be free. What does it mean, free? What does it mean, free? What does it mean? And suddenly all this negativity, where it come from? You see? And sleeping, something aware something's going into sleep, and coming out of sleep. Something is there that is aware of feeling going into sleep and coming out of sleep. That which watches going into sleep, and we're about to step through nirvana. Very good, thank you, you did it. What is watching that even, you see? Okay, let's hear from you now.
Actually, what you're speaking of is related to my question. I'm having moments where everything disappears, and then it comes back into being, and I'm watching myself spontaneously move, and then I come into person, and I sense there's something afraid of letting everything disappear for good. Meaning, I don't know what that means,
yes,
but there's some resistance, like I can feel the sense that only I am and nothing else exists. And then
Why you say nothing else exists? That you can feel the sense I am, and nothing else exists. Just the I am sense or vibration is there. And so are you saying that everything else that seems relative to that comes up with, it has no staying capacity, it's only an appearance? Is that what you mean? What do you mean by nothing, everything disappear, nothing exists but the I am?
everything just goes silent. There can be noises and I suddenly cannot perceive them anymore.
Yes.
It just goes silent.
Yes.
And then when it comes back, it comes back as the phenomenal body. It starts there and then it reappears.
Yeah.
So it's some sort of silence that I can't perceive anything.
Also, maybe a very powerful sense of detachment. There's no interest. That's another way of something disappearing. If you have no interest in it, you're looking and suddenly it's fading from your interest area. You're not interested. So it's not registered in the consciousness that it's even significant, even to worth remembering. And it's just depleted, just somehow it just vanishes. That's because of the increasing sense of presence or power of the sense of being or the I amness. It's vibrating within its own self, and all the energy is present with it. It's not going out shopping through the senses for information or for something to enjoy. It is inside its own joy. So this is how things also can disappear.
I'm finding it very hard to go out and enjoy Rishikesh. Every time I go out, I come back to my hotel room just depleted, and it feels natural. But at the same time, I was back when I was in the U.S., I was excited to come to Rishikesh because I could actually talk to other members of the Sangha, which we can't do at Manta Sahaja and Zimar. But now that I'm here, I recognize that interaction is depleting my energy. And so I don't want to fall asleep during those, and I don't want to feel depleted, and I'd like that to just disappear.
Interactions which are arising from the sense of a person or from interest. I would like to talk to this person, that person. For you, perhaps, that is reducing in its attractiveness for you. That's the help of nature is given you. Because maybe something feels, I would like to do that. But if you trust in the deeper sense, it may say, no, don't worry about this. Just marinate in that state. That's higher, that's much deeper, you see? And so you stay with this because, and then when there is an appropriate time, spiritually, to interact with beings, you feel it's very natural and much will come out of it. But if it is to do with an intention, it probably just ends up going blah blah. But if it is just that naturally you meet and you don't decide, oh, I don't want to meet, it just happens, and maybe someone asks you the direction for something and they say, oh, you go to satsang, don't you? A little conversation happens and it has some power in it when it's not planned, and this is often what we encourage. Just let things be. Let them show themselves to you. Don't have to go out getting them, you see? But that's because you are inside your sadhana. And so grace is helping you to exercise your discernment, to leave some things, and when the time is right for another thing, it's presented in a way that feels authentic and natural for you. And we must learn to use this power to discern correctly, so you don't end up just draining your power, draining your energy, you see? There's a help happening there.
Yes, the mind has been saying, no, go to bhajans, go this, and the body just simply won't do it. It goes to the room and it stays. And the mind can still come up and still trying to play tricks to get me to leave the room, but and engage in other things, but I just stay put.
It has to come to a point where these forces are not so, the mind says this and the mind says that, and where are you in all of this? It must come to a place where there is just one, there's just a sense of one, the one wholeness is here. And there's a feeling to move in this way, and maybe mind comes in that psychological sneak, kind of cunningness now and again, but you easily catch it out, or you catch them out. But largely it is just, you're just moving as presence. The presence doesn't take note of mind, like, oh, here comes the mind. It doesn't, it's nothing at all. It's like an ant challenging, an elephant to a fight. The elephant cannot even see the ant. So the sense of presence is not interested in what the mind has to say. It's usually when a consciousness has adopted the mode of personhood and is living in the notion of itself as merely a person, with all our selfish ways and idiosyncrasies and likes and dislikes and judgments. That psychological mind seems to be tailored to have this kind of play with the person. And the person is also a form of consciousness, but it is restless and inconsistent, unreliable in its way. I love you today and tomorrow is it cannot hold itself in any kind of consistency. It is not our true state. It is not our true state. Your more natural state in the manifest world is as the conscious presence, the sense of being, the sense of presence. And as soon as we begin to recognize that it is already what is here and simply remain with it, be one with it, you begin to feel its completeness, its power. You feel contentment, you feel peace and joy. It gradually coming in, like a river filling up. You see? The person must go out for their pleasures. They must go shopping and do something and climb something and get something. And the beingness is not. The beingness is the source of that joy itself. So there is like I say, a changing over from person to presence. This is the birth of spirituality, you can say. When you're coming out of the mischievous state of personhood, the limited state of personhood, and sort of like coming into the state more of the sense of presence, when your intuition is working much more. It's more alive, you're more spontaneous, more naturally trusting. The life becomes much more magical in some way. You see, unpredictable. The unexpected is flooding the scene with just, it kills desire because it is already so satisfying. What need for more desire? It kills desire. The person is full of desire and resistances and so on, you see. But the sense of presence is not. As you are coming into that recognition, you see, the sense of the person and the person's stories and history is like it's drifting away. And what is remaining is just this field of presence. This is what is happening. Peaceful, no? It's neither for or against, it is just a state of beautiful presence. If it is for anything, it is for love, it is for sharing, it is for care, it's for these qualities. They are more the attributes or the fragrances of presence, peace and joy and openness, faith, trust, you see. But the person is like an old drug, difficult to give up. You see? You keep going back. You threw the thing out in the bin, and then in the night you're going back in the bin. So leave it. Take it out of the house. This is it. Let's just take a moment again to come to the recognition of presence again. See how easy it is now. Huh? You can stand or you can sit if you want, but again, yeah?
Thank you,
okay.
Guruji.
Okay, love. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All have, whether you're standing at this moment or sitting, you are naturally aware that you are here where you are. You're simply here, no? And your attention is being called more internally than to go out, like I say, shopping through the senses or so on. Sometimes the mind is hanging around the tendency of the person to go out or to feel distracted. Some people may feel, this energy of distractedness or restlessness. This is still a kind of mind energy, ego energy, that is a little bit in resistance to even being here, even though peace is being experienced and a quiet joy and a deepening of the intuitive senses, sometimes a surface restlessness is there. So be aware of this, any of these things, or some thought activity is keep intruding on your listening. You're aware of this. But just by being aware that it is just, there's no reality to these thoughts as well. They have nothing to contribute to your life in any way. It's just habit, just like habit, dust. So we don't need to give so much, you don't have to go and take care of them. Okay? So you're aware, like some of these energies might play, but they're just clouds passing, there's clouds passing, generally passing. And you're here in the place of the witnessing of them, which they can be witnessed, but don't participate in any of its activity. Let it just float by. You are already noticing that sensations come, thoughts, emotions arise maybe, or some kind of restless energies are coming, but don't get involved in them. Simply let them come, and don't just let them go. Don't be focusing on, going too far with that. Stay more with the place from where you're looking. It is just a sense of presence, a kind of stillness that's there. It's like something is looking out from the stillness, from a kind of vastness. Gradually, as you pay attention only to this sense of being, the traffic of sensations become more distant for you. You're not shopping for that. It's not like you're watching a movie. The purpose of observing is to come to the recognition that all these things are momentary. They have no lasting value. They are just ideas, they're coming. And the one for whom they come also, the sense of the person who normally is involved in that traffic, that personhood sense is also recognized and just allowed to just be an image arising in the consciousness as well. You're simply here. So leave all of this. Don't, at a certain point, the interest in paying attention to what comes and goes is subsiding, and only what is really prominent is just the feeling of being. It's just the being now, not the being plus. Just being, just a sense of being. If sensations are coming, it's okay. There's nothing to identify with. Simply, it can feel like an itch because of old habit to engage with a certain kind of thought activity, but this time, just refuse that. Just feel more the space of being in which these images and sensations can come and go. Just like the sky. So many different kinds of clouds and rainbows and rain, lightning, thunder, all of these can manifest in the sky. But none of them by themselves can be said to be the sky. The sky is always there. But all these changes are taking place. But the sky does not complain. It doesn't become less sky. So you're like this sky. And all these things are passing, but it's not taking account of them. So they're just drifting along. So we don't want the story of what comes and goes now. That is clearly seen. Even by your speaking about them, it's already gone. What is here that is not going? Just here. That in which the sense of objects or sensations are perceived, and the absence of them also is perceived. It simply is. It is not a storyteller. It's not telling any stories. It's simply the sense of being. It has no belief systems. It has no favorite concepts. It's no one's possession also. Still, sometimes the most difficult concept to move along is the feeling of me and mine. Me, I, me, my, mine. Some sense is there, and when they show up, they seem to color the place into a kind of personal state. But this is also a sensation, perceived in the vastness of that sense of being. It is not personal. Every action performed by the body, every breath is perceived or perceivable only from here. But it is not writing a story of perception. Another way of clarifying is the example I gave before, that we are going to meet and I say, you knock at my door, I'm in a tiny space, I said, okay, you can come in, but before you come in, leave everything outside. All your thoughts, you have to leave outside. Leave your mind outside. Leave your program outside, your intentions outside. Leave even your identity, because that is not true. Just leave all of that. When you leave all of that, you can come in. Okay? So when you're ready, you come right on in, close the door, and then we are here. So in this room, where nothing from past, nothing about future is entering with you, no desire, no judgments, no fears, no past, no future, no name, everything is left outside. What is here then? Feel it. Face it also, because some people imagine that if they were to do something like this, it would be encouraging a state of madness or something. We're here together. Look. And respect your seeing. Trust it. How do you feel here? No story, no history, no desire, no interest. There's no interest in that for now. What remains? What remains? And you can go back outside and pick up all your stuff again if you want. You can pick it up anytime you want. You choose. Your senses are still here functioning. Your ability to interact is still there. Everything is there. But your story not. Okay, you come. Okay, China.
Thank you
Thank you.
for pointing to that the source of being that we emanate from. One question that I have is that what is the purpose of the opposing force that acts through the ego and the mind?
Without it, there could not be any experience. Without it, without consciousness manifesting the true duality, there could be no experience. You cannot have only positive experiences without negative experiences. You cannot have it. Let's start with there. I'm going to go on from here also. Sometimes we feel we would like to go through life and pick out the good bits, like you're shopping for it, and leave the bits you don't like. Okay? But actually, I find that this game of life, I would put it like this, is also about transcendence. It is a field of experiencing, of growing. The consciousness manifests in this dynamic arena to taste experiencing, to compare, to use its power, to feel what it's like, to desire something, to desire the sense of other, to have a sense of possessing it, to have a sense of losing that, to have a sense of becoming distant from something that it wants, or not to obtain something that it wants. All of these are offered to us as experiences that helps the consciousness that is being projected into the form of individuality and the sense of personal autonomy to make its way back to its origin. So without tasting, I don't look on anything as being just bad in itself. Everything, if you look at it with understanding, it is contributing to a kind of wisdom, depending how you exercise the sense of choice. If the choice is, yeah, I want to go and do this and I don't care what anybody thinks and so on, it has certain consequences, certain repercussions, and we reap the fruits, bitter or sweet, from those actions within the arena of the manifest life, like that. So the things that we say are bad, actually, I don't find that there's anything in life that has one single inherent meaning. It has different meanings, even for the same being at different times. So the meaning is not in the thing, but in the perceiver of it. Sometimes you say, this was such a bad thing that happened to me, but it turned out to be good in many respects. Look how many experiences we have had in our life. But in some way, they brought you here. Is this part of the regrettable part of your life? If you wanted to have a life that did not have the interrelated opposites, then you will not have the sense of transcendence or of growth or the joy of succeeding in something, or to taste what it's like to be at the very bottom of the barrel for a while and to come back up again. You see? All this is the enriching of consciousness in its journey of apparent personhood, the journey of the evolutionary sense of being. But there are other paradigms and there are other ways in which the same consciousness is manifesting depending upon the capacity of that seeker. There are some who are in love with journeys, they love journeys, and they love the concept of more and more lifetimes on the earth or something. And there are others who look and feel, no, it is enough of experiencing. Just take me to the place that is consistent. I just want to find that, which was before all this came. Each one has a different yearning, and life satisfies every yearning. For a while we want some things, and then the very same things we sometimes want to get rid of them and find we can't so easy. It's so rich in its texture, and also because we love experiencing all of it, even the bitter we love, but with the sweet. And the painful even, we take the painful because it gives something. And we also take the experience of relief, release, attraction, repulsion. All of it is a dance of this creation. But there comes a time when you're simply ready to move on from a certain level and phase of experiencing to go to higher ground. It is built in our system to this urge to evolve, to become more and more pure or receptive to the higher expressions of truth. Until we can bear again the company of righteousness. For a while we don't want it. We need strong tastes, and eventually you're reacquiring the taste for selfhood or for liberation. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have the same kind of shirt on, almost. Okay, you go first. Stay there. And then...
Thank you, Mooji. Thank you for being. When I first met you 3 years ago here in Rishikesh, you kind of put in words exactly some experiences I had that are beyond words, beyond questions, answers, and beyond you and me, where everything was one. I couldn't even speak because it felt like speaking to myself, and it had no point of saying anything, just this gratitude. But then I know it is there, but I cannot see it all the time. Something is blocking me, and now that I sit here and I make the effort to see it, it makes the seeing even more difficult, and I realize this with my mind, that this effort is stopping me. So I don't know how to not go to sleep again.
Sometimes people come, and you may somehow spontaneously even come to a field of experiencing in much in the same way that you describe, but it was not cared for. Like somehow we're just joyriding in consciousness, or some ego may have come in and start to feel I'm so special, I can do this and I can do that, and gradually these kind of you are not a good host to it, and somehow it leaves. It just seems somehow it seemed to leave. Actually, it cannot leave. It cannot even come, because it is there before the movement called life, before coming and going. It is the ground of being. But the sense of the person as a journeyer was created later, and consciousness took the darshan of life and came into to experience life based upon personhood. And the person often carries this fragrance of Some arrogance is there, some ignorance, some pride, and so on. And these are not qualities or attributes which attract the beingness. So though you may have experienced something that was very powerful, it probably just also seemed, in your consciousness, it seemed to just leave. Like that. It's not that you can't get it again, you have to lose what you accumulated as a person. The person is getting in its own way. Sometimes the person is getting in its own way. You see? Meaning what? The person maybe felt that it had this thing, but the person cannot have it. When you had it, if you so to speak, your person would not generally be there. The person would be much more weaker manifestation, you see. When we are in the state of joy, in the state of presence, your person generally is not there, your person is not there. Or gradually it's coming back in.
It's like the mind comes at one point and says, you cannot live this way, it's, you cannot even communicate, it's like, there is...
But if you loved it, it wouldn't matter what the mind say. Suppose you fall in love with someone, and you are so in love, you love each other so much, and then your auntie comes and say, I don't like him. Give him up, it's not good for you. Okay. He says, but why should I give him up? He says, because I don't like him. So yeah, but I love him. Yeah, but he's too short. And you start to entertain these thoughts, then in some point you may take the color of her thinking or something. Why would you let go of something that is clearly a beautiful thing, a beautiful love, or a state of being or presence? Because the mind comes and says, yeah, you won't be able to do this, you won't be able to do that. So you gave preference to a suggestion that you're not able to do this and like that. So maybe there wasn't sufficient maturity to stay with that at the time, you know. But then why did it come then? Because the consciousness never wastes any part of its expression. So either it gives a taste, and then from this taste you must develop such a tremendous desire for it that that desire is going to burn every other desire, because that's all your life wants, is to be here, to be in your heart, to, you know. The consciousness doesn't have to keep demonstrating, entertaining you every night. It's not trying to get your vote. It's just a little spark, and you'll forget everything else, because you'll not have experienced anything so profoundly beautiful in yourself, because you're discovering yourself again, as you were before even the beginning of this world. What an amazing thing to, even for me to say that. You see? It is not just amazing. The paradox is, we are all this also. We are just this. And yet it seems the last thing we find. Perhaps none of this would have been possible if it weren't for the fact that the mind could imitate the self and to present another kind of version of how life can be. And you, the beingness, in the form of individuality and the sense of choice, then had to follow whether you would follow the mind or follow the heart. And the mind was given some enticing things. Say, look at this, look. And you go, wow, that's nice. What a beautiful apple, wow. this story is being lived out every day. Have you been throughout the season coming?
Yes, every day.
Then what has happened then? Because you're here in the last so many days, it has been very clear. I didn't ask anybody, everyone, so what are you feeling? It was clear, the feel was very clear that many people were just experiencing the heart's presence without imagination. What was happening then for you?
It was like I feel at one moment this contraction in my stomach and my heart beating fast. I guess this is some kind of fear that comes.
Okay.
And I feel the presence and the vibrations, but then the me trying to do it is stopping me.
No, that also is perceived.
Yes,
You see, you're
see it.
sitting here, and then somehow there's some tension in the stomach, and then there is some feeling of fear. But you're not doing anything. It's just a manifestation, and this thing comes. But you just quietly stay with a voice that's telling you, don't tie yourself to anything. Let them come. This is the mind that is, you may say, trying to get your attention to just abort your introspection, to panic and say, no, I don't want to do this, and then you give up. You've experienced it. It's not the first time you're experiencing that. So some fear comes, it's there, and you just stay put. You're in the best place to see this. And you just stay put, and you see it's coming, and you'll see that even in sometimes the most dynamic pulsations of the mind, sometimes it just helps you to see how still you are. Does anybody know this or not? Sometimes the more fast things go, the more still you realize you are. If you're going to say then the mind starts to move, so what? That is its nature. It starts to say, oh, you're not going to do it, and you were born the wrong month, and blah, blah, blah. And you're, and you follow? You have to be strong enough to bear the attacks that come from your mind, to look at them. Everyone will feel the arrows that flies from the mind and from the dark nature. You will feel it. Nobody is exempt. Even the great souls, the great prophets and seers and saints, they felt same thing. Attacked. You're never gonna. And the mind. But then something is able to see. But I'm still alive. If those are real arrows, I'd be dead. What is this? It's attacking what? It is attacking your self-image. It's attacking the idea you are holding on to of who you are. It cannot attack your real self. Your real self is here. But some confusion comes. And that is also perceived. Whatever you can perceive, for this exercise you can say, but I cannot be that. I am perceiving that. It cannot be fundamentally what I am. It must be something I'm thinking or believing. And it comes, it's shaking, the rock is staying, but you are here, and pay attention to that, and you will come to a silence, a stillness. And as you come to that, pay attention to that, be one with that, all the bang, 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 it disappears. The choice has been made. This is something you have to maybe experience as a kind of battle for a while, but gradually it slows down. And then somehow you feel firmed up in the beingness, stable and content and peaceful. And then you feel, well, okay, well now you can throw any punch you want. I'm just here. But it won't throw a punch. because you're in the height of your beingness now. You have elevated the consciousness to a much higher altitude. And it cannot attack, it can only attack your person, you see. And the more you stay in this higher state, the more you love it. The more you have a natural conviction that you're in the right place. You get tremendous encouragement, faith in you grow, just the confidence to know that you cannot be overwhelmed by the mind. You only thought you were, and you believed it so much that you believed it into a kind of existence, and it became your experience. And these understandings are just coming, not just from you, the seeker, doing it. It's just grace. It's the grace of the self. It's happy with this intuitive function. No? It just gets better and better. You see, I sometimes would like to, I don't know how to do that, to one by one go around and speak with you and say, what you're doing with the teaching? Show me what you're doing with the teaching. You see, because you should be free by now. And they say, oh yes, but you know, my mind. I say, what mind? But I'm not always in that mood. Don't be too kind to your mind. Don't, because not yet. It's not your friend, not yet. You somehow, once the confusion is still there, and this oscillation between person and presence is, you must really, there should be a kind of quiet vigilance to see that, and to remember that you are just watching. You're just a watcher. You're not the doer. And gradually, each time you can confirm this, everything collapses. All these little structures are going up through the psychological identity that just collapse. And they have to do that for some time for you to become confident that it works. It's very simple. All of what I'm speaking is very simple. But you must exercise your discerning powers, and you will grow very, very deeply and mature very deeply. The consciousness there's no bottom to it. You can just keep going into deeper and deeper, higher and higher forms of consciousness, And these forces, sometimes dark forces, they are coming and so on, no? And they come to know you by name. They know, no, don't mess about with that one, leave this one. There's a weak one over there, you get this one. Stay in your strength. Love it, It's not something to just enjoy. Don't be a joy rider in consciousness. Just be the consciousness. Thank you. Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
I've been over the last 15 years, I've just been in and out of for months or a year at a time. I've been in a awakened state where everything is clear and everything is flow for months, and then it will end, often triggered by some kind of having to survive situation where I'm in some new challenge where it doesn't seem like I can just trust, or something happens where I lose that feeling of trust. And so it's so I'm hoping to find a consistent awakening from that isn't going in and out, and because it seems like it's forever when it's happening, and then when it's over again, it's I'm back in some sort of.
Well, for a start, it's not happening Awakening is not an event. There's an event in seeing that is unchanging, but that itself is not a movement. I'm listening keenly when I hear someone speak like this, and they say, like, for 6 months I'm living in grace, there's total grace. Even a year, you mentioned, a whole year, I'm in a state of grace. But then something like some survival issue come up, and you're pulled back again into personhood. That's scary. How could you, 1 year, and survival pulls you into personhood? Because as you are in the state of presence and the beingness, and again, even this beingness is getting ready to be absorbed into the deeper, the timeless awareness itself. It's like so much strength is in you, so many things can happen and will happen in the phenomenal world around you that would break the spine of other beings, but you are still present, because how can it? What spine do I have? What is here? Nothing. It's completely. You are being held together by a very thin skin of spiritually biodegradable substance. Just that is keeping the sense of individuality in you. What can trouble you? For a whole year. I remember we were going, what is the name of the doctor we go to, Vashista cave? Huh? Dr. Manu is a friend of ours. When we go to Vashista's cave sometime, not far from here, and we would go there sometime, he told me, yes, I know a man who was awake for 14 years and then he fell back into his mind. It was disgusting. This is disgusting. Disgusting story. Where is he? Bring him here, I want to meet him. Because I will tell you, he was not awake. He could not have been awake. How he can be awake? What did it mean? Well, how it can mean? So even this thing, 6 months, you're awake. What happened in those 6 months? What could be happening in that 6 months? Even the sense of being awake or not awake, these things vanish also. You're not thinking about it, just like your name is John. Do you go around every day thinking, I'm John, I'm John, I'm John? I am John. No, you don't. You don't even think about it. And if you're going to sleep, and someone called, George, John, huh? Yeah? Did you remember your John? Just immediately, it's there. It's faster than memory even. Even though that is not even your name. Your name is I am. Your I before your John. In fact, I is everybody's name. That I am denotes consciousness. It is the consciousness that causes the name John to be remembered. So if you can't forget John, how can you forget consciousness? It's just an idea, an international, universal idea that we forget, believed in, that makes us have to live with this notion that we forget and the experience that we forget. You can't forget. You just think you forget. The fact that you are means it's consciousness. You see, so in the state, you are here. And then some life. So either for 6 months, you had a lot of money in your pocket or something, and you were going around and enjoying, go to whatever, and that was a really sweet life, and you had a feeling about consciousness, and you said, consciousness is just so great, and that was a great life. And then you got, mugged or something, all your money went, and and all your cards went, your phone went, and consciousness, where are you? And, how it can be like this? I can't imagine what happened. What happened? What kind of life situation could plunge you back into this such a limited and this unsatisfying state of personhood, having tasted the holy state of consciousness?
Most recently, it was actually just going from home to Bali, just where I had to like keep track of things instead of everything kind of already being in place. I was just felt blissed out and clear and felt like I had space. And then I went to Bali, and all of a sudden I have to keep track of taxis and hotel rooms, and it just like felt like I just felt.
And this is the thing, because actually in the state of grace, it's as though you are emptiness, moving in emptiness. You're like some kind of individualized emptiness, cocooned in emptiness. And something is just moving, and you arrive, there's no taxis, that's kind of okay. Maybe you have to just sleep right here, which turns out to be really okay. And somebody comes and says, why are you sleeping here? I said, well, we're not gone to sleep yet. I was just sitting here feeling really nice, you know. But you can't sleep here. But I don't have anywhere to go. Oh, but you come, I'll take you to a... If something happens, it can't be enough to push you back into personhood. This is the adventure of consciousness. Whatever happened turned out to be for your good. Everything happened to you is for your good. Even terrible things, eventually you'll see, actually, it is for my good. I feel, I don't know if you'd say coming here is a good thing. I don't know if you'd say it. I feel it is, okay? So it means that everything that happened in your life, you know, because maybe you met one person, okay? And this one person, this meeting, changed the course of your life altogether. Nothing spectacular, just, you know, you left work early on a Thursday and you stopped by someplace, you met someone, and somehow if you traced it back, every step of your life had brought you to this point. How are you going to regret that? You've had, 175,000 regrets and 200,000, sort of like thank yous, okay? But they all brought you to here, and you say, but now I'm really discovering myself as I really am. So are you going to regret anything there? Somehow there has to be a larger sense of being inside to say, somehow with all the bitter and sweet, it brought me to a place where I could really discover my true nature. Everything is going so great, it's beautiful. And then Bali. That's where I fell from grace there, boy, I tell you.
Yeah. It's like I do really intensive spiritual practice, often watching you on YouTube or just, reading meditation, super intensive, hours a day. And then I get to a place of just poof, and I can stop all that and then something poof. I just want it to stabilize. I would love for, to just, so I could contribute more, because I think from that place it feels like I don't have an opportunity to get momentum in, because then I go back and do more spiritual practice to get and then again.
You go to the spiritual petrol station and get
it feels like this.
Gassed up.
Yeah.
At some time, beliefs must become experience, and practice must fall away. They must collapse into their goal somehow. It has to be like this. The satsangs here are just for this. I am only here for this. Sometimes people come and they say, I've been with you for 4 years, and I wrote you and you didn't write me back. And I get a lot of letters. I read all of them. I cannot just write all. I answer, I feel all of them. But I'm only here for freedom. I'm only here. My relationship with you is for you to get what I'm pointing and move on in your life and see that you're free. This thing, I'm not finished with you yet, because there's something is there that you feel. You come to a certain place in your practice and then, yes, pause. Yeah, and then you can kind of joyride somehow or something, because who is having all those experiences, you see? You are able to look inwardly and just see that you are not doing anything, in fact. It is all just arising by itself, and it is a harmony. You know, even something that previously your old mindset would have just felt, no, I don't want this. You're seeing just pure spiritual vitamins in it, and just you're so grateful for it. Everything is happening. There's a kind of gratitude, there's a joy, there's a silence. Also, you're becoming less of a person in your experiencing. You're becoming less personal about your experiencing. Just you're not putting, stars next to things anymore. Everything is just you, not personally. So you go to some place and then you're supposed to keep account of everything, but life doesn't work like that. I mean, those who do often find that they're forcing life to fit into a shape that is not, and it will take that shape also. If this vase is like this, you put water in this vase, and it takes the shape of this vase. In this glass, the water will take the shape of this glass. If you leave it for 10 years and you covered it so it doesn't evaporate, it will still keep the shape, like the shape of this glass. But the water has no shape. You throw it out and it's shapeless. It will assume whatever shape. And your consciousness will assume whatever shape of whatever concepts you believe in. It will take that shape, but it is not that shape. And those who really have discovered come to the shapeless. And not that you are not against shape. You are very okay in the world of shapes. Especially when you come yourself from no shape and you understand the fundamental nature of all things that have a shape, size and textures. They all come from the shapeless. It's like a clear light. Clear light is coming, and it's a prism, and from this prism like a rainbow of colors are coming out. Yes. And at one time you're one of these colors, or several of them, rainbow colors, but through your sadhana, your introspections, you came back to that clear light, that white light. Because that is the mother light, that is the pure light. You come to this pure light. If I want to even use the word light, because I can say I'm before the light also. The light itself is seen. Once you begin your contemplation, something kicks in and it begins to pull back until it disappears from names and forms and textures, you see. If you are there, you cannot, all these ideas and measurements of falling back into, this is an old dream. It's not like that at all. You see?
Can I come up there?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful teachings and beautiful way. Be like you.
what you feel in this moment. In this moment, what is up? You, in this moment.
Peace and love and like swirling connectedness. Bliss and peace and light and swirling connectedness. Ease.
And you yourself. How can I touch you? You yourself, that perceive all these things, no? Including your body. Yes. How can I see you?
I don't know. I guess I don't really exist so much.
No, it's not like that. You alone exist.
Yeah.
And you don't, not in the person is a form that comes in and out of consciousness, you can say like that. And the form is always changing. Because the form is always changing, we say it is not real, because often when people think of you, they have not seen you for a while, they hold an impression of you in their mind to do with the time they last saw you. So what they see is something new every time. So that form is not the same all the time. Something inside that place where you're looking from, that even perceived as joy and so on and so on. The environment is happy internally, but that which watches even that. You see?
It's like I always create this new ego form that's really thriving and happy every time, because then it's much easier than staying.
So that is what made a difference, because you created a sort of shape to be in, to say it like that. But that also is phenomenal. It's a mind creation, it's a construction. Watched from the deeper place. The deeper place has not moved. It doesn't have successes and failures. It doesn't have moods and so on. It is, once the conscious self discovers this source, you see, then you could not speak what you speak.
Okay, maybe that's sort of like an intermediate step or something that occurs like so much space and so much bliss, but like it's not necessarily like an actual. That's why I have a feeling, but I don't know how to.
Don't worry. You are here, no?
Yes.
So you spend the rest of your time here now. Go beyond this thing. I keep my eye on you as well. You go beyond this thing if it is your heart's choice. Otherwise, you're cheating, no? You're picking off something and you're creating some kind of hybrid version of it. And that's why it happens like that.
Okay.
So, you're here for gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, very good.
I don't think. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I'm also going to Bali. But I hope I don't live here. I hope I don't live here.
You must be really sure you cannot leave choicelessly. You has to be choicelessly here. It's not a choice that you go to Bali and you met someone and whoa, and then you have to be totally cured, isn't it? Cured means that this thing is finished, it's over, Not just treated, cured, So then it doesn't matter, nothing can overwhelm you, nothing can steal your consciousness or distort, unless you are still holding on to the sense of this person, still looking for something, not totally applying your being in satsang, because it happens. Sometimes you can sit through the whole season and still holding back, waiting for, something that your mind projects. Until that happens, I've not yet got it. And you miss the whole season, every point. It can happen, So if you've gone through those scams and the cunningness of the psychological identity, and you see, but I'm here, and what does it mean that I'm here? What is Bali? What is Rishikesh? What is anywhere actually to this? This has no geographical location.
Yes.
This, wherever you are, it is this. And who are you? Can you be independent of this? Can you be apart from this? No, you are this,
That seems very evident to me, that whatever I perceived or whatever is perceived cannot be what I am. And that seems to become more and more the space of existence.
Yes.
And at the same time a sense of taking the opportunity of being in front of you pulls whatever this is to relate to memory and to the seeking process and to the changes apparently happening in it. And I feel I can relate to everything that is being said in this hall through this season, except when I hear from you the unbroken experience of that. And something feels like opening to your grace for this.
And I even don't want to limit it to call it an unbroken experience. Because, it's not an experience that is separate from the experiencer. We're using the word experience. I don't know if it is the right thing. I am that. I am this beyond belief. It is clear unto itself. It is speaking with the aid of consciousness to say these things. But I have no other place to be but here. I have no other place that I can be but here. I am that which experiences experiencing. And yet, to that, nothing happens. In my dynamic expression as a consciousness, the fluid consciousness, and with this body I can taste experiencing that is of a diverse nature and that has a beginning and an end. And they too are agreeable to me. They are enjoyed in their own way. They happen quite spontaneously, but against a background of unchanging awareness. It's not easy to explain these type of things. This is why I feel I wanted to spend less time talking about and more to kind of guide you into the experience, because that's opening the door and you going in. And then from there, then the grace and waves of illumination naturally will bring, and whatever needs to be brought more vividly inside the consciousness, that will release its fragrance much more powerfully than teaching, you see. And teaching is, as its point, a place, but I feel sometimes just like a midwife, you see. Just you are pregnant with yourself, you come to deliver this baby. For some people, the contractions already clearly started, and then you just have to little bit, blum, 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 and I don't know if that's a good kind of example, but all of this has been arranged by something, isn't it? Higher power. Love you too.
What keeps me speaking as a seeker?
The self and the mind. The self and the mind. Because even though you speak as a seeker, you are the self that is aware of it, even to pose this question. Something is there that keeps watching something say, but I would like to be able to be much more established and that. And there's something which is not caught in the bubble of that scenario. It's always apart. Just as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the activities of life help you to notice your stillness. We were one time, we flew to Chennai, and we had to go and shop for some materials for the satsang in Tiruvannamalai. And we went to one place, and one of the people traveling with us, he was very much of a thinker. He always, after spending, a couple of hours in a place, he felt he had the insight to say what's going on in the place, how it is, how life works here, and so on. Anyway. But he himself said, so much is going on here that my mind has stopped. So much is happening, I'm not able to keep up. It's he was like that. So the mind just seized up. And then he said, I'm just in peace. I'm just in peace. Because before I was in pieces. I couldn't keep up my calculations, and then suddenly it could not go on, so it had to stop. So there is an awareness from where you're looking at yourself or the sense of yourself, claiming to be a seeker, unable to stop the seeking, and that is watched in your own true nature, a voice coming up with some amount of belief around it that causes it to be expressed, But the deeper self is the one that is permanent, if you can say like that.
Yes. Yeah.
You come to that point where this is not doing anything at all, So when this body wakes up in the morning and takes some coffee or whatever it is, and all of that is the play and the content of the waking state consciousness is functioning. And that functioning is watched by myself. I say, yes, let's have a cup of coffee, and this is like, it's all on the screen of consciousness. This screen is a three-dimensional screen. That's the difference. Normally we look at a screen, it says two-dimensional, it's flat, you can go and look behind it and stuff. You see like that. But this is a three-dimensional screen, meaning that it goes that way and this way and inside out ways. But it's still felt here as the screen of consciousness, in which I, the observer of it, appear in it, also observing. It's fun, it's great. So therefore, knowing that, there's no need to add, again, this kind of extra weight of trying to manipulate and to project something when the picture is good as it is. It is already just going on inside, whatever's going on inside, it's happening so spontaneously. If somebody come and say, I want to tell you, I want you to meet my cousin, I want to ease like that. No, I don't want to hear about it. It's enough, they come like that. And everything is happening spontaneously. The spontaneity takes care of everything. It is totally delicious life. Even the problems in it is part of the power of it.
It took place as an experience in the beginning of this season that it couldn't be better described than what you explained of being a sense of empty individuality inside the cocoon.
Yeah.
of emptiness as well.
Yeah.
And from there, it was so clear that everything that is perceived is somehow being created from that is in that moment. And that it cannot have one single meaning, like you said, one existence apart.
Innumerable presentations of possibilities and capacities to perceive in innumerable ways are manifesting. I'm not concerned about any of them. But somehow, something moving this little way here and there, and something, sometimes restlessly. It's all happening, something is taking care, something is doing all of this. Beautiful. What are you left to do? Just to love. To move as the embodiment of peace and joy. To meet the varied manifestations of the Supreme Being and to feel the love that's caused them to be here. To feel that love that caused them to be here and to enjoy it, loving them. Just like that. To know the love that has fashioned this expression of consciousness and has breathed life into it and is moving in this world, being a naughty boy or whatever kind of stuff, playing this role, because it also, every role is contributing to something. It's too beautiful, it's too beautiful. In one way I can say, of course, can I say there's ugliness in the world? Tremendous ugliness and tremendous beauty is in each one. Just as it is in each body, person, so to speak, so it is in the world. So, okay, I'm going to stop now.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me, not just now, all the time.
Thank you. And you're going to be in Bali when I need you to come?
No, I'm going to be by your side.
Okay, very good. I am supremely happy because what I point to and you are discovering is the greatest discovery in the human kingdom as far as I'm concerned. It's not about things. They can have their part in the great play also, but it's about you and what is possible in this. This is a mortal body, but the immortal being is living in it. And it wants to experience time and change and limitation, and then, but not to fall too much asleep. He wants to wake up in his own projection, because it has a powerful pull. Perhaps the earliest expression of the unmanifest at the very point of manifesting. Maybe the first expression, the first experience, perhaps was hesitation. I don't know. If you go in there, you're gonna have to come out. And it's kind of like I don't know, it's a kind of drug. To feel this, and not to forget yourself. to feel multiplicity when you are the unicity, and to taste the sense of innumerable tastes and so much potential to create and to dance and to explore and to fall and to rise and to fall and to be depressed and to be euphoric and to be success and all of this, and aspire to be here again. That is something. You see, because it is easy to feel, yes, I want that sometimes. I want that with this very often. But I desire this only. Very rare. And yet everything is calling. Not in desperation, not in desperateness. Is love calling, come here, come here. Look from here, look from here. So, I love you too. Yes. Yes. I love you too. Okay, somebody come in now. You know, there are 4 days remaining of our time here in Rishikesh. And everything is possible. Everything is possible for you. Because consciousness is the wish-fulfilling tree. It's the all-possible. There's enough time for this now. Consciousness is the wish-fulfilling tree. Everything is possible. Yes. There are many, many beings around the world who are joining us like this, who are waking up in their bedrooms and in their sitting room and kitchen and so on. And you came here. And grace is with you. God brought you here. Each according to their capacity. And my perhaps very strange feeling is everybody should get it. A very ridiculous thing, I'm told, to have a feeling like that. But I think not, because everyone clearly is it. But because of the strength of Maya, of the play of delusion, and then we are under some kind of temporary spell and functioning in the belief that we are merely our bodies and minds and the conditioning that arose for us. And this is not acceptable for me. This cannot be the limitation of human being. It cannot be. Thank you.
Guruji, this is a song that many people may recognize. Today we're singing it to you, who is the Satguru who is here. And it's for only you.
Make all this world seem right.
Only you can make the darkness bright.
Only you and you alone
Can thrill me like you do.
and fill my heart with love for only you. Only you can make all this change in me. Oh, it's true. You are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do and fill my heart with love for only you. Oh, only you can make all this change in me. For it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only. You.
I grew up with these songs, you know?
Thank you for bringing us back home. Heart. To meet you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mooji. Oh, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. 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 Blessings for my
Love you,
children.
Guruji.
Thank you. I need your blessings for my children, my son and my daughter. They're in trouble with each other. Need your blessings, God, this news to visit.
That's very good.
Somo. One of my students has been good for him. Somo.
No.
Very nice.
His examination is going on, and therefore he has sent it to me.
Very nice. Very nice. You will say it. Thank you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much. I was in Thailand and I was not coming, but you brought me here. Thank you so much. Not only me, but many people are changing because of you. Thank you so much.
Can't give him much more.
No, it's to say only thank you. I'm blessed to you. I will show you all the some darkness in mind. Can be wise. Thank you. Thank
You know, all these are already blessed, you know?
Dubai.
From
Now in
UK?
Now in Bombay. Retired.
Karuna ma?
Ha ha ha.